All right, so the first part of our program is probably the least interesting. I am going to babble up here about the Sumaira Foundation, just give you a sense of who are we and what do we do. That's me. Okay, I love to start my decks with this quote that I heard from Dr. Al Friedman. A rare disease may also bring rare gifts: perspective, resilience, creativity, compassion, connection, and love. I'll tell you my story in a moment, but I can tell you 12 years after being diagnosed with a rare disease, this resonates with me so much, and I'm sure it does for a lot of you as well. It's crazy to me how something so dark and tragic and horrific can actually turn into something beautiful and full of light. So I want to start the event on that tone. So the genesis of the Sumaira Foundation, how did this all come to be? So this was me 12 years ago. I was perfectly healthy, and then all of a sudden, overnight, I lost vision in both of my eyes and feeling in half of my body. Thankfully, I live in Boston, and I had access to Mass General Hospital, and I was evaluated almost right away. It also helped that I worked in healthcare, but long story short, I was evaluated right away, and within 5 weeks of my diagnosis, I was diagnosed with seronegative neuromyelitis optica. Doesn't matter which disease you have. Is anyone here seronegative anything? Okay, you're not alone. We are from the island of misfits, as I call us. So anyway, having my own experience where I was diagnosed quickly, a blessing, got on treatments quickly, a blessing, but living in this new body under new circumstances where no one around me knew what my disease was caused a lot of isolation. I was extremely lonely. I was angry. I was sad. I was scared, all the things. But all those feelings were the catalyst for the Sumaira Foundation. I started writing on my blog. I started reflecting, wondering, why did this happen to me? I was supposed to be a Bollywood actress. Like, this was not meant to happen. And I came across this other quote that changed everything for me. There was a flower in her heart. It just needed more room to bloom. And when she let it free, she showed the world that sometimes the most beautiful things can grow in the darkest of places without the need of light. Having lost almost all of my vision, I came across this and I was like, I think I know what I need to do. I need to take matters into my own hands. And even if it helps one other person, then I'm happy. And so I started getting to work from my hospital bed. I Googled, I was like, Google, how do you start a foundation? And Google told me it's 5 easy steps, which is a total lie. Trust me, it is not 5 easy steps. But I'm glad that Google lied to me, because otherwise I would have never, ever saw, this journey out. So I got right to work. Within 2 months of my diagnosis, I started the Sumaira Foundation. I launched the website and so on and so forth. And we've been building literally every day over the last 12 years. So it's been really an incredible journey. So what do we do? This is our mission. So we illuminate the darkness of rare neuroinflammatory and related disorders. We are dedicated to these set of therapeutic areas by awareness, education, community, advocacy, and research. These are our 4 pillars. This is our brand identity. So you see little flowers, like on the tables, the stickers, you see flowers everywhere. That is actually our icon. It's a pink Ribera daisy. If you couldn't tell, I like pink. But a pink Ribera daisy symbolizes admiration, high esteem, and really just positive feelings. Our mascot is this little unicorn. And that's because in 2019, we were trying to help a little 6-year-old girl who had NMOSD fight her good fight. And unfortunately, she passed away, which was truly very tragic, but she loved unicorns. And I said, let's make this our mascot. We're going to honor her and all the other patients that we advocate for, because we're all unicorns. So that is our mascot. And our colors are pink, orange, and marigold. Not this pink, but I'll be speaking to the balloon vendors later. And, Sorry, but I'm just going to say it. We still love diversity. We still love equity and inclusion. So for us, we see this type of diversity as a huge superpower. The world is actually a small place. And if you look around the world, everyone is impacted by these rare disorders. So it's very important, especially in a rare disease, to keep the community as together as possible. Our website is available in 27 languages, and you see diversity reflected in our medical advisory board, our international ambassador program. We do content and programming in 30 plus languages, and we've got local country organizations. Fun fact, TSF Canada was the first entity that we created outside of the US, and this was before COVID. So Canada holds a very, very special place in our hearts. These are some highlights. I'll just name a few. We've shared over 200 stories. We've produced about 150 webinars in 16 languages. We've got an interactive therapies chart for NMOSD, soon to be an MG. We have 135 ambassadors representing 30 plus countries. Today is our 26th patient day in 4 years. We have funded about $1.3 million in research since 2018. We have this huge trial that we'll tell you about later on, but just some quick highlights. We've been pretty busy. And even though the foundation has my name on it, I do not do this alone. As the saying goes, it really does take a village. And we are very team-oriented people at the foundation. So we've got a core team, some of whom are here. We have board members, we have strategic advisors from around the world. These are all of our medical advisory board members. I guess appropriate, since the World Cup is happening right now, that Michael from the foundation always says that this lineup of doctors is like fantasy football or something. FIFA All-Stars. Sorry, guys, I'm not into sports. But yeah, so anyway, we have 2 Canadian representatives, actually both who are in Toronto, Dr. Anne Ye, who's a pediatric neuroimmunologist from Sick Kids, and Dr. Dahlia Rothstein at the University of Toronto. These are all the companies that we work with, all the community partners around the world who we work with, and 2 of those organizations are here. Like I said, I really think that teamwork is the dream work, as corny as that sounds. If you get together with the right people, the right attitude, the right intentions, and the right vibes, then you can really accomplish a lot. I want to tell you a bit about our ambassador program. This is how I saw the ecosystem as how it should be when I first got diagnosed 12 years ago. So a little backstory. When I got diagnosed in 2014, I really mean it when I said I was trying to become a Bollywood actress. Like, that was my life goal. I had been working towards that since I was 3 years old. I was singing, dancing, acting, traveling, theater, modeling, music videos, and all the things. And then all of a sudden I got sick. And I share this because I think I entered the world of rare disease and the world of patient advocacy truly with an objective lens. I looked around and I said, whoa, patients are not in the front and center. A lot of people are saying they are, and I hear it, but I don't see it. So I manifested this for myself. I said, this is what I think should be happening, where we have the patients in the middle, and everyone, all these different stakeholders around the patients work together cohesively, nicely, politically, all the things, ultimately to uplift the patient. So I think there's still a lot of work to be done to achieve that fully, but we're making moves, and I think part of that is through our ambassador program. So we started this ambassador program back in 2019 as a result of many patients following my social media journey and saying, we love what you're doing, how do we get involved? So essentially, we have patients, caregivers, clinicians, researchers advocating for the foundation in 30 plus countries. They're running support group meetings, they're organizing 5Ks, they're educating local PCPs and emergency doctors about these rare diseases. Our ambassadors are so wonderful. These are just some stats. So we've got 138 right now, 26 of whom are clinicians, 20 are caregivers, 5 pediatric ambassadors representing 40 countries. It's almost like a more effective United Nations of rare disease. Programming. Like I said, we believe that knowledge is power. The best thing you can give yourself and your loved one as a rare disease community member is the gift of knowledge and the correct information. So to demonstrate that, we've got webinars, podcasts, infographic, therapies, charts, all kinds of things on our website, on our social media. We just produced these last year. You'll see them at the front. This is for NMOSD and MOGAD, but a patient-friendly brochure, especially for those who get newly diagnosed, to just kind of walk them through, like, all right, you got diagnosed with this. What does this mean? What's ahead? I remember when I got diagnosed, the first thing they told me was, do not Google NMO. Of course I Googled it. And I was like, well, why wouldn't I? And the first thing that I saw on the internet, which unfortunately still exists on the internet, is that I'm going to die within 5 years. I was 25. I was like, oh my God, that means I'm going to live till 30 at best? That was unacceptable. So thinking about the Sumaira 12 years ago, we put this together and we said, this is how we want people who are, especially those who are newly diagnosed, to receive the information about these conditions. Yes, they're serious, but so much has happened and there's so much support. There are treatments, there are better diagnostic tools. And we're hoping to be able to sort of do this in other disease states too, because I think patients deserve to not be even more scared than they already are when they first get diagnosed. These are just some other guides. We have something about shared decision making, a master class, which once again underscores this notion of how important being educated about your disease is. We share many, many stories through prose, through video, through audio. One of the ways in which we share stories is we have a set of documentaries, one of which we're going to play in the French session later. And this was a very cinematic way, leveraging my Bollywood background and respectfully and artistically sharing patient stories in a way that anyone, even if you're not impacted by rare disease, could watch it and be inspired by it and enjoy it. So Animaux Bonjour, which is one of our French films, actually went on to become a finalist at the 2023 World Health Organization Film Festival. We were 1 out of 800 submissions, and then we got narrowed down to 1 out of 15 finalists. We didn't ultimately win. It's okay. But we did win because Sharon Stone watched our movie, and Sharon Stone now knows about NMO. So for me, that's a win. I was in a documentary alongside Dr. Sean Pittick. If you know, you know. This was on PBS. We have support group meetings in a number of different countries and languages. These are all the patient days we've done so far. And these are all the group pictures. We're actually going to be doing this later today, so get ready. So these were 2024. This was in Ekstrom's Patient Community Day in Denmark, our patient day in China. These were all last year. We were like really on tour last year. These are some from this year. And this one, I have to tell you, we just came back from Ghana last week. And we sponsored and organized the first ever AFRICTRIMS, which is a clinicians conference for neuroimmunology, but also the first patient day. And it was as special and inspiring and moving as you can imagine. In fact, I'm still kind of processing how Ghana was, but it was wonderful. We have pediatric care packages, so any patient, I don't care what you have, under the age of 18, let me know, doctors, pharma people, like if you come across any patients, you send us their information, we send them a care package for free just to make people feel good, especially the kiddos. Advocacy, I'm going to fly through a lot of this because it's US focused, but we have a patient advocacy council, which focuses on unmet needs in the diagnostic journey and the treatment, accessibility, and affordability journey. This is also US-based, sorry, but it's a guide on how to navigate insurance and access barriers. We have a coalition for healthcare access. This is looking at unmet needs in, communities that are underserved. We have illuminations around the world, illuminated pink for our special months. And I don't know, Montreal Tower was illuminated pink for us. Thank you, Alana, for making that happen. We had several, the CN Tower, but lots of illuminations. It's very special. This was in China, a big billboard recognizing our special month. Some of our advocates at the European Parliament, at the US Capitol Hill. This is US only, sorry for that. Research. Okay, so we've got two types of research grants, one for adult, one for pediatrics. Like I said, we've funded about 1.3 million since 2018. These are some of the fellows that we have supported. So these are fellows who are learning about how to do diagnostics properly. If you know, it's focused on live cell-based assay testing. So we're trying to train as many people as possible on how to do this. We also recently supported the Ectrom's Meaden Fellows. We've got two fellows, one at the University of Oxford and one at the NHS Foundation Trust. These doctors are spending a couple of years with the best of the best in the UK learning about NMOSD and MOGAD. We've got research summaries, which essentially simplify very difficult research that's coming out so that people like myself who are not science-oriented can understand it. 2024, we received a $250,000 PCORI Engagement Award. Alana and Michael, these guys made it happen, and it was a huge deal for us. And the whole purpose of this, actually the project just closed, was to develop an agenda for rare neuroimmune conditions and how to advance equity and all the things. But because of that and some of the other work that we've done, last year, through the same organization, PCORI, we received a $9 million funding award to conduct a 5-year comparative effectiveness trial looking at the approved therapies for NMOSD versus rituximab. And I must give a shout out to Dr. Philippe Bilodeau, who is one of the brainchildren of this project. We'll hear all about it later, but and Alana, of course, Alana, yeah. But this is such a big deal, not just a big deal for TSF, it's not just a big deal for NMOSD, but it's a big deal for rare disease. We are, I hate to say it because I don't want to boast about myself, but we're making history with this trial, and we're going to learn so many things from the next 4 years of enrolling and recruiting and working with patients. That's patient-centered. These are patient-reported outcomes. So our goal is to, of course, conduct a successful trial and get results and help patients get on the right drugs and all the things. But can we also help other rare diseases by, applying this model? So we'll see what happens, but we're very excited. It's a lot of work, but it's really a really, really, really big deal. And I just have to say, because, when I say we got $9 million, everyone's like, oh, you're rich. It's going all to the trial, just FYI. We are not keeping much of it. Anyway, more about the trial. These are some of our research initiatives. Boring. And then this is my favorite picture of me, Michael Levy, and Michael Devlin. This was us in Beijing. For our Beijing Patient Day. It was also our 10-year anniversary. And I just want to draw attention to how happy Michael looks up there. He was so happy to be wearing this birthday cap. So anyway, that is all. This is how you follow us. I hope today is a very meaningful day for you. We really have tried our best to make it a very impactful day. Like I said, ask questions, meet people. You are in a safe space here. You can share whatever you need to. If you need to cry, you can cry. I'm a big crier too, so I encourage it. If you need to take a break, all is okay. But thank you so much for the warm welcome to Montreal, and we will get started with the program now.